And my response to you destroying all these things is to have a Big Mac. Because you know what? It's a free country, it's a democracy, and I'm allowed to eat meat, and I'm certainly allowed to eat meat when someone who kills bees to feed their avocado habit minds.
What we're asking is
Did he just eat meat in front of a vegan? That's never fucking been done before. Holy shit. I found the funniest video of 2022.
Well, hungry vegans targeted Big Ben today, spraying white paint outside the Houses of Parliament ahead of Liz Truss's first Prime Minister's questions. The Animal Rebellion protest group says the white paint symbolises milk and was intended to represent the destruction of the dairy industry. Also represents, of course, petulant vandalism and the destruction of a historic building. It's the fourth day of action from the group. They've also cleared milk from the shelves of supermarkets in 4 different cities. They say they're aiming to force Liz Truss to the negotiating table, but are they in fact just annoying the hell out of all of us? Well, joining me now is a spokesman for Animal Rebellion, Orla Coughlin, who was at the protest at Big Ben earlier today. Good evening to you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Why would chucking paint all over Big Ben persuade someone like me to give up meat?
It's not supposed to. It's absolutely not supposed to. Of course, the idea of that is to raise like public awareness. Is to get people like all are here to come on to shows like yours, Piers. Like it's very simple, and it's worked, hasn't it?
So as you and your viewers probably know, we're in a climate and ecological emergency at the moment. And so what we're doing is we're asking the government to support farmers and fishing communities in a transition to a plant-based food system, because we know that animal agriculture is a leading cause of the climate crisis. And so if we transition to a plant-based food system, we can free up vast amount of land in the UK, we can rewild, and we can draw carbon down.
You can see he's like he glazed over then, like he's like at this point now, from now on, from this part of the interview, because she made too much sense. It is the leading cause of the climate crisis that we're under. It is a huge concern for our planet, for everything. And you can see that made too much sense. He glazed over, and now he's going into brain dead Piers mode.
Look, that's all fine. That wasn't my question. My question is, why does chucking paint over Big Ben, why does desecrating Trafalgar Square with red dye, chucking milk around Harrods, destroying supermarket shelves and so on, how does that persuade me, who already likes eating meat? Why are you going to persuade me by being a vandal?
Now, to be fair, I don't really like this form of protest myself. I think it's the equivalent of street preachers standing outside of a concert, of a Marilyn Manson concert, and telling the participants that they're going to hell. I don't think it necessarily works that well. But what it does for the people who see this, but what it does work well for is getting people on stage with Piers Morgan. And obviously, the question is like, why do we care about Big Ben when we have such a huge problem? Like Big Ben's not going to be an issue if climate change continues to grow at the rate it is. It's actually starting to slow down, but if it was to continue to grow at the rate that Piers would like, or that Piers seems to not care about, then we'd be in real trouble, and Big Ben wouldn't matter, would it?
Don't get it.
Yeah, I think we're in an incredibly difficult position at the moment, because we've been...
Why are you making it any easier?
Because we've been trying to talk about these things now for a very long time. And so we're at a point where we need to escalate protest so we can gain more media attention on the subject. And
it looks really bad though, but I
don't know anyone you persuade. I haven't heard anyone go, you know what, I was a meat eater and I saw Big Ben being desecrated, this great monument of this country, and I thought, I know what I'll do. I'm going to go and give up meat and start eating gruel.
That's exactly the point I have about the Marilyn Manson street preachers, right? It's like no one goes like, oh, those people telling me I'm going to hell is a good option. I'm gonna go see what their church is about. I'm gonna go see what it's all about. It doesn't make sense. But I do take issue with the way he said gruel there. The man, obviously has never had a delicious vegan meal. Like some of the vegan meals are way better than a lot of the meat options. So it's like, come on, dude, it's not gruel.
I haven't heard a single human being say that. Why would they?
I think the purpose of protest is not necessarily to win over people. It's to bring these...
To annoy us?
To bring these important conversations to the
Brain
table.
dead.
Yeah, but we know the conversation. You're a vegan, right? I'm a meat eater.
We know the conversation, but the problem is no one's taking it seriously enough. Like that's the problem, right? Meat eaters will choose to prioritize their taste buds and the traditions they have in their family, maybe, over the life of a sentient creature and over our planet, existing. You know, so that's like something that's like, to me, it's like an open and shut case. Like, okay, well, if the number one thing I can do is eat a whole food plant-based diet as the main thing I can do to carve my emissions and climate change, then that's probably something I should do. You shouldn't just go like, oh, I'm a meat eater, I like to eat chicken niggies. You know, it's kind of silly there, right?
Why can't we just both live happily in each other's orbit? Why can't you let me just get on with eating meat?
Because you won't be able to live in each other's orbit when the climate is fucked.
And you eat your gruel and we'll all go home happy.
Because we know animal farming and fishing are a leading cause of the climate
And we
crisis.
know having a strictly vegan diet is bad for you as well.
Bad for you, not bad for the environment, buddy. We're talking about the environment. And also, that's not true. The World Health Organization says a vegan diet is healthy for all ages of life. Buddy, sorry, check your facts there, Piers.
A lot of science says it's bad for you.
That's not true.
It is true.
Oh,
What do you eat?
Brain dead. You see how he's just like, he's switched off now. She made too much of her point was too good at the start, and now he's just like, he's brain dead, and he's just hitting her with the anti-vegan memes, right?
I eat.
Do you eat almonds? Do you drink almond milk? Eat almonds?
I think you're digressing from
Yeah, and she doesn't want to.
the
I'm just asking a question.
The big issue.
I'm just
here.
curious what you eat. Do you eat almonds?
I'm here to talk about the climate crisis.
Now he's got her.
Do you eat almonds or
30
drink almond milk?
30 million people in
Do
Pakistan
you drink almond milk?
have been affected
Do you
by
drink almond milk?
severe floods.
Do you drink almond milk?
I drink plant-based milk.
You do. And do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based
got her.
diet.
Do you eat
We're
avocados?
asking the government.
Do you eat avocados? Yes?
A leading study from
Do you
Oxford-
eat, look, it's an interview. You don't just answer different questions. Do you eat avocados?
I eat a plant-based diet, which
Do
is
you eat avocados?
yes,
Yes, you do. Great. Do you know how avocados and almonds get made?
absolutely.
You do.
Yes.
So you realise that in California, every year, for 6 weeks, they fly in billions of
Need a
bees
little violin.
to create your almonds and avocados. And in that process, several billion bees get murdered. This is a bee,
Murdered.
right? That's a
She
bee.
even laughed.
That, last time I checked, is a living
Have they got
animal.
like sad music under
Billions
that?
get slaughtered so that you, sitting here, pontificating in between smashing up our buildings, so that you can have your almonds and your avocado. And I say to you, why don't you care about the little guys?
Can I say that the
It's total hypocrisy, isn't it?
So, what if she said to Piers, like, yeah, fuck the little guys. I don't care about animals. I don't care about their well-being of animals at all. I don't care about them at all. I just care about the climate. What would he do? He'd be like, go. He couldn't do anything, right? Like, because he's now flipped the script to talk about ethics, which is not what she's here to talk about. She's here to talk about the climate, and this is what she's trying to talk about. He would be lost. Or what if she said, oh, you know what? Maybe I won't have almonds and avocados. You make a good point there, Piers. What would he do then? He'd be stuck as well. These are bad arguments, Piers. Get better. Come on, man. This is you are a mainstream talk host, and you're coming out with these garbage points. Like, we know that animals are sentient and they go through tremendous suffering for your taste buds. And we know cutting out those things from our diet is the best thing we can do for the environment. So it's like, come on, man. Like, we know these things. These are basic facts. What you're doing now is you're getting so triggered by the vegans that you're trying to be just as ridiculous as the crazy vegans that you bring onto your show. How about you just don't be as crazy? Is the goal to be just as crazy as the vegans that you put on your show? To ignore the climate crisis, to ignore the health risks of eating meat, to ignore the suffering of the sentient creatures? Is it just to be as ignorant and as ridiculous as the vegans that you bring on? Come on, you can do better than this, Piers. Come on.
You don't care about bees being
Will
murdered?
you let me speak, Piers?
Huh?
Will you let me speak?
Why are you laughing? It's not funny.
I'd like to respond.
Bees getting
It is very funny. It is very funny because he's clearly lost because he doesn't have an argument for the climate stuff.
slaughtered and you giggling away like it doesn't matter whilst destroying buildings because you care so much about animals. You don't care about the little guys.
Wait, does he care about the little guys? Does he care about the little guys or all the big guys? Like, this is so silly.
Do you?
I'm laughing because I'd like to answer your question, and I've been brought on the show.
Like, you can tell, like, he's hiding behind a smile. You can tell that he's at this point, he's just a bad faith actor. She rang up a good point at the start, and he had to just bring out the vegan memes because he just thought this would be another walk in the park. But she's just holding to her guns. I like her. She's cool. If you're watching this, lady, you're welcome to come on Deep Drinks Podcast anytime. Just shoot me an email.
To answer your question, so I'd really appreciate being allowed to answer.
You're never going to persuade me because I think you're a hypocrite, like a lot of vegans I've met.
your arguments are bad because you're a hypocrite. That still doesn't work, right? Her arguments still make sense. Even if she was the biggest hypocrite in the world, even if she was the worst climate, even if she was like dumping oil into like the like local river because she just liked the look of like dead fish rising to the surface, that would still not matter because her arguments are still sound. I'm pretty sure the study that she's referencing says that avoiding meat and dairy is the single biggest way to reduce your impact on the earth. Right? Like you can see the numbers. They're all here, all ready to go. Like you can just look at them. Look at this bad boy. Beef results in up to 105 kilograms of greenhouse gases per 100 grams of protein, while tofu produces less than 3.5. Boom. Also, tofu is way healthier for you. But I know your arguments. You like your meat. You like your itty bitty taste buds. So yummy. Like fuck off, Piers. Holy shit.
You can all be as hangry as you like and not have meat. I don't believe in the science of a strictly vegan.
Look, I'm a chunky guy, right? I eat a mainly plant-based diet, but like, look at the difference between these two. Who looks healthier? Like, look, hey man, I'm not casting any shade, but just from an objective standpoint, who looks healthier out of these two?
Vegan diet. If
Bad
vegan diets
Piers.
worked, a lot of animals wouldn't eat other animals.
Do you believe in the climate crisis?
Yes.
Well, the animal agriculture,
Yes.
farming and fishing is a leading cause
He'll
of the
pivot.
climate crisis.
You know what's also a leading cause of climate crisis? Planes which carry vast amounts of your avocados and your almonds from California and fly them thousands of miles to your table here in.
Well, by definition, that wouldn't be the leading cause, would it? Because she just pointed out the leading cause is is animal agriculture and fishing.
Your vegan cafe.
Let's say that's the second leading cause. What if she just said, oh yeah, I won't eat avocados and almonds? That's a good point, Piers. What would he say then?
And then they also go in trucks. And that is an environmental hazard too. So you're not only are you killing billions of bees, you're destroying the planet. And yet you have the brass neck to sit here in between munching your almonds and your avocados and start preaching to me about how virtuous you are about not killing animals.
It's funny because he's trying to flip the script. He's trying to become the more virtuous person here.
And saving the planet. I'm like, hang on, you're destroying the planet and you're killing billions of bees. I don't get it.
Can I respond?
And you're wrecking Big Ben.
Can I respond?
And Trafalgar Square. And you're breaking up Harrods.
I hear that you're very frustrated.
No, I just find it such absurd, hypocritical nonsense. I honestly do.
I would really like to respond to that.
Go on then.
So a leading study from Oxford, which is the most comprehensive study on food and the climate that has ever been done before, has said that animal products, that's farming, animals and fishing, is the leading cause.
Is a bee an animal?
It surpasses,
Okay.
I'm not finished, sorry. It surpasses.
Ola, is a bee an animal?
It surpasses.
Is a bee an animal?
Piers, can I?
Is a bee an animal?
It surpasses all.
Ola, is a
all
bee
plant-based options.
Is one of these things an animal?
Of course, a bee is an animal.
If a bee is an animal, why are you slaughtering them?
Why are you not talking about the most important issue that is facing our planet
Because it's
today?
rank hypocrisy.
It is
isn't
not
it?
hypocrisy.
That's a really good point. Why aren't you talking about the number one cause to the climate crisis? And then his response, because it's rank hypocrisy. In other words, tribalism. In other words, your side, I don't like your side, so therefore I'm going to ignore the facts. The fuck? Holy shit, I've never heard more of a brain dead statement.
Hypocrisy.
I meet so many vegans
study from
who devour avocados and almonds and don't seem to realise it involves the slaughter of billions of bees.
Both almonds and avocados are less damaging to the planet.
Oh, they're less damaging. And what about how they get flown here from California?
Less damaging still, less damaging.
That study in Oxford, that is exactly what it is
the
about.
planet.
No,
anyway, look,
it is-
I'm starving and you're not going to persuade me. And my response to you destroying all these things is to have a Big Mac. Because you know what? It's a free country, it's a democracy, and I'm allowed to eat meat, and I'm certainly allowed to eat meat when someone who kills bees to feed their avocado habit minds.
What we're asking is for the
Did he just eat meat in front of a vegan? That's never fucking been done before. Holy shit. That's amazing. That is amazing, Piers. No one's made that joke. That you're the first person to ever eat meat in front of a vegan. I am convinced. Fuck the climate. fuck the bees, fuck the pigs, fuck the beef, fuck it all, right? Like, fuck all the science.
Support farmers.
Yeah, eat the burgers. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's back that shot. Yeah.
For the government.
Yeah, picture of health. Yeah, it's not healthy for you to eat a vegan diet. Picture of health here. Fuck yeah, good on you, Piers. Yeah, no, he's convinced me. He's convinced me. Vegans sometimes spray stuff with paint to get attention. Therefore, I'm going to be just as ridiculous as them. Yeah, Piers. Yeah, fuck yeah. Come on. Brain dead. Anyway, if you like content like this, make sure you subscribe. I'm a former youth pastor that makes videos on religion, philosophy, and science, and Piers dumbass. So if you like this content, make sure you subscribe. I also have a podcast called youtube.com/deepdrinks. And Orla, you're welcome to come on anytime you want. Thank you.